You remember in the previous class, we have learned about the different hardwares and softwares which are attached to the computer. Bandy, do you remember it? Yay, he remembers it. And different types of softwares. And another thing we learned how to turn on and off your computer system. Right. Now, very important thing is that whenever you give instructions to the computer through your any input device, that reaches the computer in the form of digital instructions. And these digital instructions are in the form of 2 digits, which are called binary digits, right? So, operating system has a very important role which just converts these digital instructions, get them processed and give them back to you in the form of result. Okay, now moving further, let's learn what actually is operating system and we are going to elaborate it further. So, when we talk about operating system, it is just a program that run all the time on the back end of the computer. And it is a type of system software. So, system software, it is just a source which connects human beings to the computer. Your instructions are accepted by the computer, which are converted into digital form and then in the form of 0 and 1, then the entire processing is done on it and you get it back immediately in the form which you could understand, right? So, the entire work is done by the system software. So, system software, the operating system, like I'll just show you, this is the operating system and this operating system helps you to interact with the CPU, helps you to interact with any output device and it also helps you to interact with any of the input device. So, when input device is working, only system software could understand it. When the result has to be sent to the output device, then again only the system software will understand it. And that all work is done by a special system software which is called operating system, right? So, that means we cannot work at all without the operating system on the computer. Now, what all are the functions of operating system? We are going to understand it in detail. So, very important thing is that it starts the system automatically. So, when you turn on the computer, the entire process of activating the computer is done with the help of operating system. That means if there is no operating system, you cannot even turn on the computer. Right, Pandu? Understood? Lovely. And then it also manages the working of all software and hardware resources which are attached to your computer system. So, that means if you are attaching any of the hardware, it has to be first get activated with your operating system, then only it is going to work on your system. Okay? And that means it works as an interface between any user and hardware so that we could easily interact with the computer. So, user and hardware need something in between so that whatever instruction you give to the computer, computer understands it and whatever computer returns you back, you could also understand it. And that work is done with the help of operating system. That means the computer is controlled, the entire execution of the computer is controlled by the operating system. It also schedules and allots the time for the entire processing that is being done in the computer. Okay? Nod your head. Yes? Good. Now, another important role of the operating system is that it allows various application softwares which could be executed in the computer. So, whenever you want any application software to be executed in the computer, it has to be first censored by the operating system, then only it is going to work on your hardware. Okay? And we come at next very interesting topic, that is called user interface. So children, user interface is basically the part of the operating system with the help of which the user interacts with the computer. And there are two ways to interact with the computer. One way is you just type the keywords and the instruction reaches the computer, and the another way is you just click somewhere on the screen of the computer and the work is done for you, right? So like, I'll show you a very simple example. I'm clicking on this button and you could see so many colors pop up. Now suppose I have to choose, I'll come here, I have to choose this blue color. So now this time whatever you are highlighting, that comes with blue color, right? Icons, buttons, everything you are highlighting, it's coming in blue color. Now next time another click is going to change your color which is chosen. So what is this? Just clicking anywhere and the work is done, right? So that is one way of getting the work done. This interface is called graphic user interface. So what happens? You have certain pictures on the screen, and on clicking on these images, pictures, icons, you just clicked it, and not to type anything, not to remember any instructions. That's called graphic user interface, right? So we have so many tools coming around us, and with the help of these tools, we just click them and we get the work done so easily, so quickly, accurately and promptly, right? Give me a smile. And second type of interface is called character user interface. We also say it CUI. Sometimes another name is given to it. That's called command line interface, right? So this type of interface was used earlier, where you used to give the commands to the computer, and with the help of those commands, the work was normally done. And very commonly used operating system for that was MS-DOS. We say it Microsoft Disk Operating System, which is now replaced with GUI, and everything has become so easy. Things are done with the just click of button, right? And since 1985, when the first version of Windows was released, this GUI became active. And these days we are using Windows 10, Windows 11. So many versions, one after another, the modified form of it is coming for you to make your work so simple and handle the computer with such a ease, right? So, moving forward to the new topic, that is different types of operating systems. We have various types of operating systems which are available for you in the market. And you know, even the smart mobile Android phone which you use, it works on an operating system. And the operating system is named as Android. And when you work on your iPhone, the operating system you use is called iOS. So entire your phones are under the control of operating system. That's why you click a button and the work is done. Got it? Children, your computer have Windows operating system, and this is very, very commonly used operating system, which we are going to study in detail in the later sessions. Another operating system is Linux, which will be used for multi-user, multitasking, and for your higher studies. Okay, so every time you remember that operating systems get updated with time, and there are certain software engineers which keep on bringing new version of them so that they could help you out to make your work so easy, so prompt, and you have good easy learning to handle your computer system, right? So see here, we will study that when you started with Windows 7 and 10, it was initial launching of it, and then we came with Windows 11. It was also launched in the market with different more features. So these are the different icons. We have Windows XP also, and we have Windows Vista with us, Windows 10, Windows 7. So these are the different icons which you could see. And operating systems are basically divided in two categories. One is single user and another is multi-user. You know, as the name suggests, single user operating system. That simply means that one system, one user, one processing done. So that is called single user operating system. And it has only one user which could access the computer system at one time. That means it can just support one user at a time. So basically, children, these operating systems are used by us at home, and we also call it as personal computer, right? And the operating system which we use on the single user operating system could be any of these. This is also the old version Microsoft DOS. It is character user interface, so we hardly go for them. But yes, Windows 7, Windows 8, then Windows 10. These are some single user operating systems which you have installed on your computer and which makes your work easy and prompt. Okay, and then we come to multi-user operating system. So that the name suggests that it is self-indicating that multi-users can work on a single system. So I'll show you, like, this is the main system. We have a server, and if you could see it, we have user 1 as a server. Here we have a CPU with us, and with this single CPU, other users are attached. See, these are called the terminals. User 2, user 3, user 4, user 5. These are the clients which are working on this particular single server. So that means this is multi-user operating system. We have one main computer, and with this one main computer, other resources are shared. So that makes your work more easy to handle. Suppose we have 10 people working together in the office. So instead of carrying the data from one user to another, we could simply store entire data in one CPU, which could be shared with everyone. So that makes your work economical, that makes your work easy, that saves your time. That is the entire use of multi-user operating system. Hope you are understanding it, and later when you are going to implement it, don't forget from where have you learned it, right? So it's the time for doing the exercise, and just practice it. Give your time, recall what all you have learned so far, and enjoy it. No worries, we can discuss these fill-ups over here. Let's see. Dash is processed in the CPU. So what is the thing that you process in the CPU? Just look at the hint box. Data. Okay. So we write data. We process the data and we get the output. Good. Instructions written to operate a computer is called, when you give the instructions to the computer, that's called a program. So we write it is a program. Good. Next one is, now Panda is going to help us. And dash runs all the time on the computer. So what runs all the time? It is operating system. Very nice. Good answer. And the computer takes dash from the input devices. So what does computer take from the input devices? Yes, it is input. We get inputs to work on the computer from the input device. And the computer, the last one, a computer works on the IPO cycle. Very good. Well done. Show me your thumbs up. I'm very happy with your answers. So let's look at the next one. We have write T for the true and F for the false statement. So quickly help me out to check what is true and what is false. An operating system helps us to communicate with the computer. Is it true? Yes, yes, yes. Great, it's true. In a multi-user operating system, the main computer is attached to many computers. Is it so? We have main computer. Could you recall that image we discussed just now? Correct. So again, it is a true one. And a computer is useless without operating system. You remember I told you, you cannot work and you cannot use any hardware, any software until you put an operating system to the computer. It provides the initial intelligence. Correct. So this is again a true statement. Mac operating system is multi-user. Perfectly correct. And the operating system is also called a user. Did you hear it somewhere? He's saying no. That means it must be a false statement. So this is a false statement. Very nicely done. So time to say goodbye. Before we say goodbye, let's recall what all we did today. We learned that there is a binary language only, the language of 0 and 1, which computer can understand. So we need an operating system for a computer that will run on the computer all the time and helps your instructions to be understood by computer and computer instructions to be back taken by you. Correct. And next thing we learned is that operating system allows various application software to run on the computer. So if there is no operating system in the computer, none of your application will work there, right? And this operating system can be used by one person or by even multiple users. So it could be a single user or it could also be a multiple user. I hope you enjoyed the session. See you next time. Happy learning.